Hello and welcome to a brand new installment of Nintendo News Report for Tuesday, June 13th, 2017. I'm Alex Kalafi, joined by a full crew of Nintendo News reporters to talk about the Nintendo E3 2017 Digital Spotlight. We are joined by Canada's very own Donald Terrio.
If you go to the LA Convention Center right now, it is apparently the most noxious body odor LA has ever seen, and that's saying quite a lot.
Yeah, probably since the Lakers last one.
We're also joined by that other voice, that other scoff you just heard, one Zachary Miller from Alaska.
Hello, everybody. I was so excited during the festivities this morning.
Was the Mario Odyssey dinosaur true to life, Zach? I need to know.
It was shockingly accurate. Probably should have had some feathers, but I'm not going to fault him on that.
Yeah, maybe
that was a really good T-Rex.
Maybe we can get the guys out in LA to give that feedback to Nintendo, being like, put some feathers on that thing.
They should do it.
We're also joined by director of NintendoWorldReport.com, special guest who's been on most of the episodes since he stopped being a main cast member.
Been on more of them since Zach.
What?
I think I've been on more of the shows after I left the show as a regular than Zach has been on.
Yeah, that's probably. I'm trying to sell a condo.
Zach is a regular.
This is the big This is the big E3 show. We got E3 stuff, and we're going to be talking over an hour probably about 24 minutes of extremely fast-paced Nintendo Switch video. And I'm so excited. And although there are no winners of E3, Nintendo's thing made me the happiest.
Although there are no winners of E3, there was a winner of E3.
Yeah, it's the dinosaur.
Yes.
That dinosaur won.
I still say Nintendo is the runner-up to Devolver, but I'm going to lose that argument. So.
Oh, jeez.
Devolver had a wonderful Tim and Eric-esque 15-minute thing. My favorite part was 5 months after Suda51 announced that he had a No More Heroes project in production. Devolver's big thing was that they were teasing Suda51. And then he finally shows up in the press conference, and he's just this confused, bumbling Japanese man who doesn't know what he's doing. And then he tells him to turn off the camera, and that's the end of the press conference.
Well, it was great because he was kind of just having a brainstorming session with himself on stage.
He was figuring out his next game live.
Exactly. We got a window into his process.
Yeah, Nintendo did their thing this morning. There was a lot of speculation from this crew and many others about what their thing was going to be. Was it just going to focus on Mario and a couple other holiday games? Was it going to be a whole Nintendo Direct? Was it going to be closer to their similar stuff 2 years ago? And I would say it was a little of everything and a little of nothing, because it did have a very similar format to the Nintendo Directs of this year, but it also had a similar format to the Nintendo Spotlights or digital presentations of 2 years ago. And at the same time, it was this own thing where Reggie had like a soliloquy at the beginning about video games, and then he was on
a new challenge in my hotel room. Did you see the chess table? I've been playing.
Video games. Games of video.
What are they? How do they work?
Video games.
It was a lot of fun, and I'm going to be going into the chat real soon. But I want to start off.
Well, first, before we get off of Reggie here, if anybody listening or watching or on the panel here, if you're going to be auditioning for any kind of acting role, use Reggie's monologue from the beginning. Put some dramatic weight behind it about how passionate you feel about these games of video and how you can just blow the walls down around your hotel room. If you do that, please send video, audio, pictures. If you get the part, I'll go see it wherever it is.
Whatever it is, wherever it's playing.
Do you think Reggie is going to use that in his demo reel someday?
Yes. Why would he not?
Reggie makes Reggie turns 65 and he's just like, I'm gonna be an actor now. You saw me in that Rumbo commercial. Let's go.
And the Oscar goes to Reggie Fils-Aimé.
Yeah.
CEO
For
of
Pizza Hut.
Yeah, he goes back to not as a CEO.
No, he
But as an
basically
actor.
makes like the founder, but for Pizza Hut, and he plays the lead role.
I'm John Pizza Hut.
And
Yeah.
my cousin, Brad Boy's Life.
God.
Second cousin, 3 times removed.
Yeah. You know, it turned out that Boy's Life was incorrect with their leak.
What?
Shocking.
No.
The best is on this same here YouTube channel. You'll be able to see a thing where I hosted and wasn't just an asshole taking it off course at every juncture. Take it away, Alex, before I ruin more things.
Yeah, Cherry Goblin is the segue we asked for and need but do not deserve. He says Mario Odyssey is amazing.
Like, holy shit.
Yeah,
That game looks great.
that game looks amazing.
I want to tell you a story about not my reaction to it, but someone else's reaction to it. I've been watching a lot of Giant Bomb's coverage this year, as I do every year of E3, because they always do the thing where they talk over the press conferences. On every single press conference, it was hard to get any of them excited about anything. And during the Nintendo presentation, it was no different. It's one of these. Here's a joke. It's one of these. Here's a joke. On Mario, everyone was flipping shit. Just like I was, just like you were, just like everyone in here was, because Mario can control dinosaurs and play Mexican guitars now.
And the only other game that they did that for was another Mario game.
Actually, every Mario game, which it seems like this Mario game takes inspiration from, including the weird historical ones from the Super Nintendo.
They have Yoshi's Cookie reference. I'm sorry, this game wins.
I'm still I got to watch the spotlight with some people in this here room, and Justin Berube keeps on hoping for like Tatanga to show up at some point in this game.
Yes,
and like that would be so awesome if that were to happen.
It would.
Well, we have Mayor Pauline at least, and
yeah,
I
like
love.
that is, and she's a singer, I think.
New Donk City is surprisingly progressive.
You know what? She's a singer. They got the progressive politics of New Donk City. That Pauline, Mayor Pauline, I suppose.
Although, what's her last name? Is it just Pauline?
Pauline Mario.
Yeah, it's just
That's going to be the twist.
Or is it Pauline Kong?
It's I think the ultimate progressive twist is for the final ending to be a 4-way marriage between Bowser, Mario, Peach, and Mayor Pauline.
So my wife had an interesting theory that
How does Bowser get into his tuxedo? It's under his shell.
Bowser wants to marry Peach, but Peach
Correct.
wants to marry Mario, and Mario wants to marry Bowser.
That's why they come together in the Amiibo set.
Right, exactly.
Although
Peach is just left looking confused.
and now Bowser, we know that Bowser Jr. is not his biological child because he's wearing white on his wedding day.
Oh God.
My favorite part of Nintendo Twitter today has been people taking those 3 amiibo of Mario looking super passionate, romantic, and beckoning, and Bowser looking super passionate and beckoning, and Peach looking surprised. They've built this fantasy of Mario and Bowser passionately looking into each other's eyes with Peach behind them.
I think Peach eloped with Zelda in one picture I saw.
I'm still waiting for the booster amiibo. That would really complete this.
Oh boy!
Someone mentioned in the chat about how it's Giovanni Zen says, so hey, in the original Donkey Kong, Mario was saving the mayor.
Oh, was he?
So we're gonna have to get down to the Donkey Kong Historia at some point, and hopefully Mario Odyssey will solve some of the riddles that we've been trying to figure out when we've been putting together the Donkey Kong Historia over the past 3 years.
You know, I'm glad you brought up Booster, because I would also like to see a Boshi amiibo.
That would, I mean, we can just get like paint. There's probably a custom Boshi amiibo out there already. But so So what if Super Mario Odyssey is like a prequel to Donkey Kong?
Jeez.
Or is it a sequel? Like, I don't know, but I feel like this is on a Donkey Kong timeline that is very important to our lives.
If we see Stanley the Bug Zapper in this game, then it is officially Donkey Kong canon.
Well,
Maybe it'll be kind of like how did anybody see that surprisingly decent Scooby-Doo movie from like 15 years ago?
The live action one?
Yeah, the one where it turns out that like Scrappy Doo's the villain. Sorry, spoilers.
I did see that, but it's been so long I don't remember much of it.
So Scrappy Doo's the villain, and it's kind of like a meta thing about like how like, oh, you just forgot about him because he was a dumb character who showed up at some point.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Maybe they got to do that with Stanley the Bugman, where he's like secretly he's been Bowser the whole time.
He's been.
I think we're getting off topic a little bit.
But just a little bit.
I like this, but
Let me say, you are going to be
if any of our
playing.
E3 people are there right now, ask a Nintendo person about this.
Yeah, I need to get to the bottom of this timeline.
Yeah.
The future of this website depends on it.
Well, on October 27th, 2017, that's fun and early, you're going to be playing your own Donkey Kong Historia in the form of Super Mario Odyssey. The next...
I am honestly shocked that is not November 17th unless they just want to give that date to Pokemon.
Well, you know what? We can get to that discussion as we talk about more games, as far as how the rest of the year will look after Mario on October 27th.
Yeah, I feel
But
like...
this game looks incredible.
Yeah!
What?
Oh, okay. Let me explain this game just a second, even though everyone knows what it is. So, it is very much in the same vein of Galaxy Sunshine 64. It's one of those games. And
It's more 64 than either of the other two.
yes. And while they established the open worldish city, it's clear that city is like a Mario 64 Sunshine Galaxy type area and not like some sprawling open world, which wasn't necessarily a surprise, but it was clear during the treehouse that this is very much segmented areas with some platforming, with some questing.
So we know there's the big city area. There's like that wooded area.
There's a dinosaur area.
Yeah, the dinosaur area.
Which they didn't really show much of.
The desert area.
Yeah.
What else? Is that all we've seen? I think there was an ice area
That's
too.
the Samba de Amigo area.
Yeah. Like the mariachi desert area.
Yeah, and they showed I think they showed more of the forest area on Trios Live, though that's not playable on the show floor proper.
Yeah. No, I watched most of that. Like that especially looked awesome because you have this like wooded area that you can explore around, and like there's these huge trees and all sorts of like vertical things that you can do, and then you kind of get to the exterior of this area, and like it kind of looks like I was cracking wise when we were watching this earlier about how like oh, there's Hyrule Castle, because it kind of looked like last year at E3 when they were like, okay, we're at the edge of the plateau and look, you can see for miles. And then at one point the person played the demo just like reached out to grab a coin and then fell down the side and then wound up in a completely different area that was it was like the old wooded area, like the underground. Wow. And then there was just this entire like area just hidden that I don't, maybe you would only discover it if you were to fall down.
Huh.
And like that's really cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So here's my little... It's not a concern. It's the furthest thing from a concern because, I mean, alongside God of War, this is my most anticipated game overall. I guess my trouble is... God of War, yeah. I guess my concern is that I'm sort of having a tough time wrapping my head around this game in the same way I did with Zelda last E3, because it seems like there's so much to this game, between the small questy elements to the platforming elements that are baked in kind of, but are their own thing, and I don't know how much of that there is exactly, to all these challenges that are off to the side that you just sort of pop off to 3D world style.
I love those.
I'm having a hard time getting a feel for what this game exactly is. And I didn't have a feel for what Zelda was until I actually played it, and I have a feeling it's going to be the exact same way with Odyssey in October.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to follow a pretty similar... Well, I think after my progression from Zelda of like sheer elation at E3, and then like by the Game Awards last year in December, I was kind of like, what if it's bad? And then it came out and it was really good. And I feel like I'm probably gonna head from now until October, I'm gonna follow a similar path. Where right now I'm just like, this is gonna be the greatest moment of my video game life. And then like in September, they're gonna show a video. And I'm gonna be like, oh, but what if it sucks? And then it'll come out and it'll probably be really good.
I think the term they used for it on the Treehouse Live was perfectionist nightmare.
Yeah,
So
because there's
so many things.
So you have the moons, or the power moons, I think is what they were calling them, that like they seem to function as
moons
stars.
And then other power moons. Yeah, there's two
and
things.
Then okay, so there's moons and there's power moons.
Purple coins.
Yeah, and then so they have the purple moons or whatever. Those seem to function kind of like stars, but they don't like end level when you find them. It's like kind of like you'll solve a puzzle, you'll get a moon.
Yeah.
And then they have regular old Mario coins, which you can collect everywhere. And then there's a seemingly limited amount of currencies for each region that you collect, and there seem to be like 100 in each world.
So almost like the blue coins in Mario Sunshine, but
yeah, and it seems like when you collect all of those, then like you can kind of unlock everything in the world, because then you use those coins to buy stuff. Like you buy different outfits to wear in each area. Look like some other stuff as well. Like seems like I don't know if it's like outfits or items that you can put in the world or use them to solve puzzles. Because I know like on one of the things, like you got the mariachi outfit, and then you could go and join the mariachi band.
Right.
Very briefly.
It's pretty cool.
That's that in-game store. As soon as he started buying things, I thought these people played Splatoon.
These people played Breath of the Wild. Are you kidding me? It's the exact same store format.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I really like that. I think what it's going for, and what I appreciate is, whereas Mario 64 was, sort of an open world game, but you had distinct levels and distinct goals, and when you got a star, the stage ended and you're kicked back into the castle. I think what this game's going to do, and I'm really happy about it, is when you get a star or a moon, it doesn't end. You just keep going forever.
Yeah. No, that's great.
It's one more time.
That's awesome.
Oh, I said that, whereas in Mario 64, you get a star and you're kicked back out to the castle. In this game, I feel like you just get a moon and you keep going.
Yeah, we saw that today, and I really don't want to be Platonic Games right now. Let's put it that way.
They're taking a stiff drink.
No, as long as they get out on Switch before October 27th.
Along with the Sea of Thieves people are also taking a stiff drink.
It's just, everybody who works at Rare or used to work at Rare is having a bad time, except for Grant Kirkhope, because he's doing music for a Mario game.
Yeah. Have you noticed that Grant Kirkhope is the best part of like 10 different bad games?
Yeah. And then, I mean, Grant Kirkhope has a career, man. And that is a hell of a career. I enjoy following him on Twitter because he makes snide remarks and just keeps on mentioning that, like, I did this awesome shit. I did this awesome shit. I did this cool shit.
Yeah.
The fact that there's a T-Rex that you can possess makes me wonder if there's other dinosaurs you can possess.
Well,
and
you
then
can possess
very
humans
excited.
And like
That's
a frog
weird.
and enemies, but like not if they're wearing hats. It's
Super Mario Geist.
Yeah, so this was the last thing that they showed off in the Nintendo Spotlight, and kind of was cognizant of the fact that I think Reggie said like on Sunday that it was going to be 25 minutes long, and I was kind of looking at them like, all right, so we got to have Mario Odyssey. Maybe there will be something else. I don't know. And they started off with that dinosaur thing, and like I was kind of thinking like maybe this will be like is this a new IP like Retro's game? Like who knows?
Yeah.
Monster
And
Hunter.
then I basically just giggled for like the next 3 minutes as they showed that trailer. And I've since watched that trailer again, and there's still moments where I'm just like, it's just, there's so much that they show in that trailer that just like, that looks like it's a blast to play. That's so spectacularly dumb in the absolute best way possible.
Yep.
Yeah. I think the subtle thing in that trailer and the subtle thing and everything we've seen of this game so far that really sells this game's personality is that Mario has personality now. Mario's expressive.
Yeah.
He's doing stuff. He's having
he was
fun.
dancing.
Yeah.
Like, and they showed in the second treehouse segment that they showed today in like the forest area, like they had him in front of a boombox, just rocking out, just jamming.
Yep.
Yeah. Leavenede says, what if it sucks? He's in the what if it sucks phase. Well, what I have to say to you is this is one of the most important games for Nintendo right now, and maybe for the next few years. They're not going to let it come out if it sucks, and they're not going to let it come out past late November. Like, there's room for them to maybe delay it a month, but it's coming out this holiday, and it's going to be good. Nintendo be damned.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not worried about it. It's just I'm in the same mode, in the same headspace I was with Breath of the Wild last year.
And the team in Tokyo, their batting average is really good.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not worried about this game sucking.
Not to toot my own horn, but I've gotten some very nice feedback on the glasses so far. Zippo says Alex looks like he's about to drop a sick album. And
I was going to say that Alex looks like maybe his girlfriend beat him up earlier,
like I'm having to
That
take
took a
these
dark
off.
turn.
or he fell down the stairs or something.
I'd like to think that Alex is just trying to show the world his computer screen, personally. it's like they're perfectly framed in there.
If you need proof that I'm looking at the
I
chat
can see
right
my
now-
face.
Oh, Ms1K3 says, "Why does Alex look so cool today?" So there, boys, there. You know.
What would your rap name be?
My rap name be A-hole.
All right, I look forward to your debut LP.
Wouldn't it be Calafia?
Be a sick mixtape.
It's my first LP is going to be called Deep in My Hole.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's E3, everybody.
Yeah.
So Princeton says Mario was instant game of the year. I would say 2017 was off to a super amazing start between Zelda, between Persona, between Yakuza 0, actually great, being between Horizon Zero Dawn, between all these games on all these different platforms that were extremely fantastic. Then we get to E3, and it looks like all the games we really wanted to make this year, for the most part, are now pushed to 2018. And really, Mario kind of stands almost alone in the fall 2017.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
that's true.
Did we ever find out like what the hell is coming out in like October, November for Sony, or like for their first party
It's
studio?
Gran Turismo. That's it.
Gran Turismo.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
And they're still probably going to be the best selling console. Like it's kind of nuts.
Yeah,
Knack is
I think
September.
Dad of War doesn't even have a release date. I think it's still
Really,
just 20.
pretty much everything that was in Sony's press conference yesterday was 2018.
Yeah, early 2018 on Dad of War. Giovanni Zen says, I disagree. 2017 is straight up baller. I disagree. I know.
No,
I
yeah.
agree.
The first half of 2017 has been amazing, and it seems like we're going to have like not a bad end of the year, but it's looking to be like maybe potentially a mediocre end of the year with not as many amazing games as.
Well, a lot of
the year
people are
started off
excited
with.
about Splatoon.
Yeah. I mean, that's not the end of the year, though. That's like
We have a good summer.
weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
But I mean, yeah, as far as like the last half of the year, even like, I mean, I guess like September to December, the fall season, where everybody always releases their video games. That seems like it's not going to be as good as maybe recent ones have been. But, you know, that run of like, January to April was freaking masterful. Like, so many games, so many long games, so many good games.
Yeah.
And even more, I mean, I'm jumping the gun a little bit, but I guess we can talk about the console itself. The 3DS is having a wonderful year.
Yeah.
Not bad for a system that everybody wants to kill.
Yeah.
I can
Me
actually-
included.
Yeah, I can talk about Ever Oasis. We'll have a review up on the site next week for that. But I can preview it, and that game so far so good.
Nice.
Like that game is fantastic.
What is it? What's the gameplay loop?
We will save that for another podcast because we should focus
Okay.
on E3 because we're already going to be here.
Oh, right. True.
Yeah, it's already 10:35 Eastern. We've talked about one video game. I'm really excited. Now,
To be fair, it is the most important video game of E3 for Nintendo.
Yeah. I just want to talk about one that we can zip right through. There's this game called Metroid Prim 4.
Yeah. I believe it's called. I believe it's pronounced Samus. Samus Aran.
Aron. Aaron.
Yeah. Aaron.
Samus is a great name for a Nintendo-themed dessert, I'll just say.
Yeah.
But Prime 4, we basically know it exists, but I think I'm adopting the conspiracy theory that it is just simply Federation Force HD under a different name, because there's Metro Prime 4, Federation Force is 4 players, and they're going to do that to make people actually appreciate Federation Force.
So they have this weird. Well, one, for people who played Federation Force, obviously that's going to lead right into Metroid Prime 4. Yeah. But you would only know that if you got the secret ending in Metroid Prime Federation Force, because there were 2 endings. Okay, I'll stop being an asshole. But Metroid Prime 4 is developed by some new team in Kyoto, headed up by Kensuke Tanabe.
Because all the people who made Primes 1 through 3 are gone.
They're gone to make they were going to do Unreal Engine 3 on Wii U, so how'd that go?
They made Batman Arkham Asylum Blackgate, which was something.
They made Recore. Recore was cool.
Yeah,
that's right,
Recore.
Well,
it's not their fault that Microsoft underfunded it.
Yeah, no, I know.
Xbox is actually a decent comparison for this, because in both Halo and Gears of War, the original team sort of fucked off to do their own thing, and now there are new internal studios making the games in-house. And it seems like the results have been more positive in the case of Gears of War, slightly less positive in the case of Halo, but it seems like both the series are in a totally fine place. Metroid Prime 4 is probably going to be totally fine.
Yeah. Do you think they'll re-release the trilogy on Switch somehow to get people geared up for it?
That makes too much sense. I mean, especially because let's get real. Even an optimist would probably acknowledge that the absolute earliest that Metroid Prime 4 could have started development was around Federation Force's completion. So at best this started last year. More realistically, probably more recently. So we're not going to see this game for a very long time. I will be shocked if we hear a damn thing about this game before next E3.
It'll still come out before Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Probably. It'll probably also beat Kingdom Hearts 3, Final Fantasy VII Remake, half of Sony's Go from 2 years ago. But I mean, we've got a long time for this game, and I would like to think that probably it would make sense to I don't know, maybe next year when people realize that they mentioned Metroid Prime 4 a year ago and we haven't seen anything, and be here, play the Prime trilogy. We'll see you next year.
I think this game. I think Prime 4 has 2 E3s ahead of it. Just call me crazy.
I mean, I think 2019 is when this game will come out. Mm-hmm. I don't know when in 2019 because we don't know anything about the game.
August 2019, because that's when all the Metroid games come out.
I could go with that. I can jive with that.
Metroid Prime 4 was probably the most evocative, or not evocative, but it sort of it was the game that defined this presentation to me. Even though Super Mario Odyssey was more important, but this felt a lot like a much less desperate version of the Wii U Direct in 2013, where people are really begging for Metroid Prime 4, and there's been some controversy, so they're saying, okay, we're actually working on it. Here's a video that proves it exists right now. And it's the same thing as the Pokemon RPG that they had Ishihara from the Pokemon company come on and be like, okay, heard you, it's happening.
We're making one.
That was filmed yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
It's probably
he looked like he was working at his desk, and they just shoved a camera in his face.
It was just like all of a sudden, Reggie and Kimishima and some other people from Nintendo are working on planning for E3, and they're like, and that we have a Pokemon Switch game, and they call to Japan. They're already in LA. They call to Japan, and they're like, all right, Brian, just you got to go over to the Pokemon company's office. Just go in there with the camera and just be put a gun to his head and just be just promise us just promise us that there will be a core Pokemon Switch game. Say it.
That's your November 2018 game.
Maybe 2019 for all we know.
It did. The wording, and granted, I mean, probably reading too much into wording that was construed probably in about 15 minutes because they're like, oh my god, people are so mad about the Pokemon Direct. We need to fix it, guys. But the wording does make it seem like that game is pretty far off.
Oh, yeah.
They said like at least a year away.
Which means 2 years, really.
Yeah.
It reminded me of when, was it Reggie who was on stage at E3 and said, "Oh, we're making Smash Brothers for Wii U and 3DS."
And like somewhere Sakurai was like,
Sakurai's like, what?
Motherfuckers.
Sakurai's like, dude, my shoulder already starting to hurt. What are you trying to do to me?
And 5 of the characters are going to be Fire Emblem, so there.
He's just like, I'm really into Fire Emblem right now. I don't care if you're making me make it for 2 fucking systems at the same time. What you want to port it
Tell
to
the camera
Switch?
we're making a Pokemon game for
come
the
on.
Switch. Wait, we are?
Just get those Tekken guys that help me out with these games. Get them to make the fucking Switch version. I'm out. Sakurai out.
Although apparently Sakurai, allegedly Sora has been tied to that Kirby fighting game that we're probably going to find something out about in the next 48 hours.
Oh, really? Where'd that come from?
Rumors from some of the darker parts of the internet.
So
what did 4chan have to say?
Basically,
Voldemort, Donald. Like, we could say its name.
Basically, that because it's the anniversary project, they wanted to bring Sakurai back, and it would make sense for Sora to be doing something like that.
I mean, it's just...
I'm actually shocked that they didn't say anything about Smash Switch, given that those amiibos are soon on the way.
How many fighting games do they have coming out in the next 3 months?
Yeah, I think that... I was joking with someone, and someone's like, they'll just release Smash Brothers on Switch today. And I'm like, yeah. And then just murder ARMS. like, how funny would that be if, like, tomorrow they're just like, Smash Brothers is out on Switch today. And, like, the guys who made ARMS are just like, should we leave? Did we get fired? Like, what did we do to you? Like, I thought you liked the game. The reviews were pretty positive.
No, they do it Thursday because then all the day one pre-orders will have already shipped.
What?
But I do think that Smash Brothers, which no shit, there's going to be a Smash Brothers game on
Wait,
Switch.
Neil, wait. I have a comment in the thread that literally asks the question. Giovanni asks, "Do we still have any faith in the idea of a Smash port? Does Quiet support non-existence, or just getting out of the way of every other significant online multiplayer game on the way?" Anyways, go.
So Smash Brothers, I believe.
It'll happen.
Probably, I think it'll happen. Like, even without any kind of rumors or whatever, like, no duh. Like,
Yeah.
it's a
They put
popular.
Mario on it.
Like, what have they been doing on the system other than, like, all right, what online multiplayer games do we have? Put them on the Switch. Let's go.
Here's my conspiracy theory.
All right.
Game theory here. They've got an online service they expect people to pay for that's launching in 2018.
That's true.
Wouldn't Smash Brothers be the perfect game for that?
Yeah, no, totally. Like, I could see Smash Brothers coming out sometime in early 2018. I think this that does kind of open up to the bigger question of how this holiday, we know about Mario in October, and there's some games that could totally come out in November. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Fire Emblem Warriors, like, those could be November games, but, like, those don't strike me as, like, Sunday or, I guess now Friday before Black Friday games. Like, those strike me as, like, you release it in September to clear the deck for something bigger. Like, that's a Fire Emblem. Even in our bold new Fire Emblem world, Fire Emblem Warriors as a marquee November release seems kind of nuts.
Yeah.
Like, I think there is a non-zero chance of Smash Brothers on Switch coming out in November.
Okay.
Not
Nice.
much more than a zero chance, but a non-zero chance. More likely, I'd say sometime in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, although it wouldn't be the first time they put a Smash Brothers game out, like kitty corner to a Pokemon game, if it's going to be the Black Friday game, because they did that with the Wii U version.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I think Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are a big deal, but they're like revisions to a Pokemon game, not a brand new Pokemon game. Like if we're looking at November and it's just Xenoblade, Fire Emblem Warriors, and Pokemon, like that doesn't seem like that strong of a November. And I mean, maybe their September and October would be enough to carry it through. And they do have Splatoon 2 and Mario Kart. They'd probably be fine. But I feel like there's some killer game that will come out in November or December for 3DS or Switch that we don't know yet.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
2015, their biggest holiday game came out in September. Super Mario Maker. So I think they think they can pull it off, especially since it's coming out closer to a holiday.
I don't think we're looking at 2015 for successful Nintendo years, considering that was when Mario Tennis Ultra Smash and Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival were your big winners. Yeah. And they got their butts kicked in 2015.
And the Wii U sold within striking distance of what it did the year before with Smash Brothers, despite the fact that their November releases were Mario Tennis Ultra Smash and Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival.
And also, when Mario Maker was planned for September, then Star Fox Zero, which in and of itself, granted, I don't think that's a terribly strong November release either, but they were kind of hoping it would be. And that was supposed to be a November release. And I think that a November that has Star Fox Zero, Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, and Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival is a much different November than one without Star Fox Zero.
Yeah. Joel notes Ultra Sun Moon come out in November, but that's the 3DS. The 3DS already has their Pokemon set up. Switch has got to have something in November.
Yeah, and we found out through the fact sheet today, or I guess the press kit, that Nintendo is publishing Skyrim, and that's now listed that's listed as a holiday 2017 game. So that could come out in November.
That sounds like a game you stick in the West on November 17th.
Yeah, I mean, like that could happen, and I mean that's the thing is that like they could probably roll and have a November with what they have, but there's that. I mean, like I think there's space for a more marquee game to come out in November.
Well, Nintendo is very blind to how old games are and what their value is. That's I would call one of the Achilles heels of Nintendo, as we're gonna see with Superstar Saga a little later. I think they don't realize how overplayed Skyrim is because it's never been on a Nintendo system.
Yeah,
so I think what's gonna happen is they're gonna think that's a way bigger game than it actually is.
To be fair, didn't the remastered version on Xbox One and PS4 come out in November last year?
Like early November, and it did pretty well. Although you pair Skyrim in November with the second part of the Zelda DLC.
Yeah. You know what? That could probably that might be stronger than we think.
Yeah. For all we know, we get like a bundled re-release with Breath of the Wild and the DLC pack for like $70.
Yeah.
And that's your Black Friday game.
Okay. Well, moving on. Metroid: Samus's Return, the game that was revealed on the Nintendo Treehouse Live. It was revealed. Reggie promised big news in the first hour, and there you go.
It's the Project P100 game of E3 2017.
Except this one actually will sell.
It's a Metroid 2 remake.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Donald. We're all excited now, but will it sell? Metroid games don't really have a history of doing that.
Good point. But I think there was legitimate shock and joy at the fact that we're actually finally getting a Metroid game on a dual screen system when they've been doing dual screen systems for like 13 years now and haven't done one yet.
True.
Yeah. I mean, Federation Force is a Metroid game.
Yeah, but not like a 2D, like the 2D Metroid.
This is true. Well, I mean, there were all the rumors of Dread that actually seemed to have had some kind of weight. But yeah, no, I'm really excited for this game.
Yeah, me too.
I got some facts. Mercury Steam of Lords of Shadow 2, and Lords of Shadow Mirror of Fate are making this game. It is coming out on September 15th. There are 2 new amiibo. One of them is Squishy. It is a Metroid 2 remake. And it's the amiibo are gonna launch as a Squishy amiibo and a Samus 2-pack. That's all I have to say.
Game looks
for all of that.
And even if Mercury Steam kind of has maybe a checkered history, I'm actually more curious to check out Mirror of Fate now, kind of with the context of that they're that they are making a Metroid game that's coming out in like 3 months.
You don't need to check it out.
I mean, yeah, I haven't heard good things about Mirror of Fate, but
there's a demo
I
on the
am
Neat
encouraged.
Shop, Neil. Don't go spending money on this.
How expensive could it be? But anyway, Mirror of Fate's quality with notwithstanding, like they have experience in the genre, and I have faith in Nintendo, especially like a producer like Sakamoto, working with a team that might not have nailed the genre before, and using their Nintendo expertise to helping them make a much stronger game. And we've seen that before. Like, look at Next Level or Monster games that didn't have Nintendo's hand in them. It's like night and day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or the Metroid Prime, or the original Metroid Prime team who went on to make Blackgate, which was like, the magic's gone.
Yeah, and even the reverse of that is true sometimes. That even after a Nintendo touch, maybe it all fades away. But I have faith in Nintendo working with a team that might not have nailed the 2D Metroidvania style before, and helping them kind of nail it. And right before this, I read an impressions article over at GameInformer.com where they absolutely adored what they played, and it looked like they basically just like played the first half an hour of the game.
Yeah,
and that's really encouraging. Metroid's a game where you kind of got to nail that opening, and if they nail that opening, that's really good to hear. I'm hoping that our resident Metroid fanatic Jonathan Metz, who's out and in LA for E3 this week, I hope that he tricks someone at Nintendo into letting him play this game, because I don't think it's on the show floor, but I hope he finds a way to play it somehow.
Somebody's got to do it, Neil.
Yeah. Johnny might have to do some threats, but I hope that he will play Samus Returns.
Everything on the stream looked great. That new 360-degree aiming, the melee attack with the little cinematics for the Metroid mutations, those were great.
Yeah, no, I mean, like that. I mean, go do yourself a favor if you have any interest in this game and watch the reveal Treehouse Live segment. That game looks pretty good,
real good. And while you're waiting for it, you can play another Metroid 2 remake on PC.
This is the sign of confidence in me in this game.
I can't see what
I can't see that.
I just placed a pre-order for it.
Okay,
and me and Metroid.
I accidentally have 2 pre-orders for it at GameStop because I wanted to get that collector's edition. I'll
take one of them.
Oh, it's a pickup in store. It would take a long time for it to get to you, but we can talk later.
Okay.
Rizzo36 says in the chat something that I want to bring up because I think it's a discussion worth having. Star Fox greater than Metroid? Debate me.
Jesus, no.
Not last year. It was
in no world.
Yeah.
In no universe.
I mean, I even think Metroid Prime Federation Force is a better game than Star Fox Zero. So even on the terms of like the maligned entries in the series, Metroid wins.
I think Star Fox generally is more consistent, but Metroid has both the highs and the lows.
Whoa! When was Star Fox consistent?
I mean, you can be pretty consistent when you only have 5 games in your series.
And 3 of them are remakes of each other.
That's what, I did the math when I was reviewing Star Fox Zero, that, I think more than half of the Star Fox games out there are vague remakes of previous Star Fox games.
Rizza says...
But anyway.
Rizza says the Metroid nostalgia is way too high. It was never that great of a game ever, which almost sounds like he's describing Star Fox.
He might be describing the NES Metroid because he's right there.
And I think I don't know. This is probably a debate that we need to take to another video because this could go on for. We need to call in Raritan and we need to go ham.
I have something slightly positive to say. I actually beat Mirror of Fate on the 3DS. I played through that entire game. It's totally okay. It plays like a 2D God of War from the PlayStation 2s with a little bit of a Metroid Castlevania-like element to it. The setting was bland. The story was kind of bland, even though it had a couple good ideas. Character was okay. I think people give that game a little too much shit. That's all. I
think here, because that's kind of the common refrain that I've heard is what you kind of explained. Although, I mean, depending on the person, they're either super positive or super negative. And I think part of the issue with that game is that it was Mercury's team was like, all right, we got this like God of War like 3D Castlevania game, and we're making a portable. Let's kind of blend these worlds together. So maybe that was a bad idea. I think in your 2D Metroidvania games, I think having them too focused on combat is a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if they kind of do like they tilt the focus more in favor of exploration in Metroid Samus Returns, then maybe that's all they need to make a really dynamite game.
Yeah, I think the problem with Lords of Shadow, Mirror of Fate, aside from having 2 subtitles, was that the Metroid part felt really undercooked.
I concur. I concur.
I do want to close out our RZA saga here. He made a comment that Star Fox Zero was his game of the year 2016, and he loved everything about it, but that's just him. And I just want to say, that's awesome, man. I'm glad you love that game as much as you do. I don't mean to sound patronizing at all. I did enjoy Star Fox Zero a lot, and I've talked to people like our very own John Reardon, who loves that game to pieces.
Yeah, he does.
And I'm very happy when people enjoy games that maybe have kind of checkered receptions. And I'm glad that Star Fox Zero does have that passionate base out there, because games like that and Metroid Prime Federation Force need to stick together, and maybe we need to stop fighting each other.
Yeah. All right, let's
we can
move
all
on.
share a Pepsi.
1 hour in, let's move on to our 5th video game. Kirby's coming to Switch. It's in 2018. It looks like Return to Dreamland and has a multiplayer
Exactly like
focus.
that.
It looks like Planet Robobo. It looks like Kirby Triple Deluxe. That's not supposed to be a dig. It's just that those games are all pretty damn good.
It's the next one of those.
Yeah.
With 4
and
players.
they brought back Kirby's friends from Dreamland 3, so...
Yes, they did.
Yeah,
points.
so it looks like there's some kind of like power mixing that you can do, because there was like...
Like 64.
Yeah, like an ice rock thing that turns you into like a curling thing.
That was in
There's
64.
also,
That's exactly what happened.
A new cleaning power-up that looked like... It was when like Kirby and his pals were like rolled up into that circle.
Oh, yeah.
Kirby had a cleaning power-up, and it looked like he was wearing an apron and had a mop. So that's pretty fun.
Yeah, it looks totally fine. That's all I have to say about it.
Yeah.
I'll play it.
Yeah, it's out in 2018.
You know what? It's also out in 2018 is a Yoshi Switch game. It looks like a Yarn Yoshi follow-up almost, because it has Yarn Yoshi and not Dino Yoshi.
Yeah, that pissed me off.
It's almost Little Big Planet style. It's like cardboard focused. You're popping in and out of the background. You're throwing eggs in and out of the background. It looks like a smoother Little Big Planet is exactly what it looks like.
And that game is Unreal Engine 4 on Switch.
Yeah,
You're kidding me.
It's developed by Goodfeel again as well.
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
I mean,
Nice.
that seemed obvious, but there was confirmation throughout the day that Goodfeel was developing it. And yeah, it's an Unreal Engine 4, which is kind of nuts. But that game looks beautiful, and it looks like it's got some inventive stuff that makes it seem a little more than just like a sequel to Woolly World.
Yeah. You got to wonder if the Goodfield guys are like, can we do something else?
I mean,
You
they
gotta
seem
wonder
like
if
they
that's
got
what
it pretty
Retro is
good.
saying.
Yeah, no,
They
that's
basically
true.
They went from Wario Land Shake It to Kirby's Epic Yarn to Yoshi's Woolly World to remaking Yoshi's Woolly World and then making a sequel. Like
Yeah.
those are all pretty solid games.
Yeah, they are.
Some might say that Epic Yarn was a 10.
Yeah, I would say that.
Someone would.
Yeah, and I would say that Wario Land Shake It is a Dynamite Wii game that a lot of people might have missed, and you should check it
Yeah.
out. I believe
It's
it is
one
on the
of
Wii U eShop, but who plays the Wii U anymore? So just break out your Wii.
Yeah,
Fair point.
great game. I like it more than Epic Yarn.
Xenoblade.
Yeah, but that's another 2018 game, and I'm excited for both of those, but I would like to see more.
Yeah.
Another game that hasn't been announced for 2018 yet, but potentially will. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Holiday 2017. It's got Create a Character, and it looks a lot more like Xenoblade Chronicles X than it looks like Xenoblade, even though it's totally a sequel to Xenoblade.
Yeah, they talked about that today, and the reason that this is not a Chronicles game is because it appears that you are going to be crawling all over mechs again.
Wait, it's
Well-
not a Chronicles game?
No, it is a Chronicles game.
It is a
So
Chronicles
sorry.
is
Or
X
not
not
Chronicles X.
connected to the first one?
They have
Is it-
similar weapons and theme, and it's same studio behind it, but They're not related that I can tell.
It's
This
Like a
is
Final Fantasy
is-
situation.
There is no Chrono Cross like tie-in from X to the first one, and that's
Okay.
horseshit.
Mm.
In my opinion.
That is weird. That is weird.
although you
I
could
really like-
you could very easily build Shulk in that game for whatever it's worth.
I've got my fingers crossed that Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is going to have some moment like halfway through the game where you stumble upon the remnants of the heroes from the first game, and I want that moment to happen so bad. Give me some convoluted tie-in that people are like, oh, ruin the first one, and then I'll just be there like giggling as I play as 40 characters in an RPG with great music and a surprisingly decent battle system.
They brought back Nopon, so for all we know, you could play as a character from Xenoblade Chronicles.
Is
Yeah.
Nopon like a fan favorite thing? Because Ricky wasn't that funny or cool in the original game.
He's
And
a
Tatsu
move.
was worse.
Hmm.
But yeah, they are
They
the
sure
movable
brought
ones.
back this.
What the fuck?
And for people who can't see what I'm holding up, it's a mouse pad with boobs. They brought back boobs.
They're back.
Did they ever leave us?
After an absence in X, they're back.
There is certainly some waifu as they showed in the trailer today.
Yeah,
Yes.
with your sword. That like, there's a moment in that trailer where like she's like, "Touch my chest," and I'm like, "Wait, where is this game going now?" Is
Wait,
this
when
that
did
Valkyrie
Xenoblade
profile
turn
game
into
or whatever
Revolution?
Valkyrie Drive?
Oh, I
No, I
remember
was-
that.
I was thinking more like, when did Xenoblade turn into Revolutionary Girl Utena?
God.
It looks cool. It's holiday 2017, maybe. I'm 50-50 on whether it makes it. I think
I-
it'll
No way.
slide. It'll
No
slide
chance in
nicely
hell.
into November. It has a chance in hell. I just don't think it's a great chance.
I'm 90-10 that game is coming out in December, like first week of December.
I'll say I'm 80-20 that it comes out in 2017. I'm 100% positive we will be playing this game before the end of March 2018.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions, which was also revealed during the Treehouse. It's a 3DS remake of the original game, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. It comes with a story that takes place alongside the main game, starring Bowser's Minions, including General Goomba and some Koopas.
Captain Goomba, I think,
Captain Goomba, excuse
wasn't
me.
it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. It comes out October 6th, and it's going to be $40, which I'm not happy about.
No.
But they added the minion mode.
We don't know what that means. I love
Nobody wanted
Minions,
that.
but I just don't know what that means.
You know,
I've
I
Watch the Treehouse Live segment, host.
I watched video of the main game, and it looks like it does not look that different from the original.
Yeah,
That says
so
Not even graphically.
So what they seemingly did was they took like the original assets from the first one. I'm trying to see. We have a press release about it to see if they specifically mention
We copy pasted this game.
what's all about it. That like they took the assets from the original and kind of like updated them to some degree.
Okay.
And I think it's kind of using the engine from the past Mario and Luigi games on 3DS. And other than that, like the game's relatively unchanged. Otherwise, it's Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga on 3DS.
That is the best one.
Bowser's Minions. So the side story is called Minion Quest: The Search for Bowser. So led by Captain Goomba, there's this team that goes along, and it looks like some kind of like weird level-based, like almost strategy RPG, as you're kind of like building up a team and leveling them up, and then going into these like kind of weird side-scrolling battles that look like they would be like one of those weird bonus battles in a previous Mario and Luigi. The word from the Treehouse Live presentation was that like this was a very, very deep mode that was more than just a throwaway gimmick. Having watched the Treehouse Live segment,
Yeah.
it kind of looks a little boring, but I mean,
Yeah, it does.
also wasn't playing it, and it didn't. Watching it and seeing being like, all right, this doesn't look that much fun. It also looked like a mode that didn't demo well. It looks like a thing that you actually need to play to understand. So I guess kind of until one of the people from the site plays it and can report back, then I will kind of raise an eyebrow towards this minion mode for Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. And I'm kind of non-enthused by this game because I replayed Superstar Saga when it hit Wii U Virtual Console,
Yeah.
I played through Paper Jam. Like, I'm not wanting for another Mario and Luigi game.
I think it's funny that Alpha Dream's like, well, none of our games are doing well. Let's just remake our first one.
Okay, and Third Rate Minion, who were actually over watching this segment with me today, they said they apparently took the sprites and recolored them.
There you go.
This is a bullshit, invalid criticism, but I need to say it in some posterity anyways. This game should have been $20 and came out today.
And been on the eShop.
And
I think because it's a Mario game, I think they can get away with releasing it for $40 in October.
I'm just upset that
they can get away with it.
Didn't get the Rhythm Heaven slot of being released on the day of, because this is the perfect game for it. It's the perfect one.
No, like,
perfect
I was hoping that when that segment came on and they revealed it, I was like, maybe this is going to be out today, and then quickly found out it's not due out until October.
For some reason.
Yeah, no, I think that would have been cool if that was out, today, but it's not, and it's a $40 game coming out in October.
Yeah.
The just so people know, the original is on the Wii U eShop for like $8. Play that.
And Giovanni Zen rightfully called me out, saying, Neal, you're not wanting for another Mario RPG. We have a heck of a Patreon choice then. Because, hey, for our Patreon, www.patreon.com/NWR, if you join up, you can join us in our Patreon Plays series that we do every other month. Currently, the game that we're going to be talking about in July is Super Mario RPG.
There you go.
And I'm not... Mario RPG is separate from every other Mario RPG in my book, because Super Mario RPG, as I'm remembering, as I'm about, I guess 2.5 stars into that game, that is one of my favorite games of all time. And
one of the best RPGs I've ever
love
played.
that game so much. And for more on that, stay tuned to Patreon Plays on patreon.com/NWR.
Third Rate Minion has a good question. Do we know if it's $40? My answer to that question is...
It has an Amazon placeholder.
Exactly.
For $40 US.
It has an Amazon placeholder. They don't technically have a final price. Although Knack 2 is currently up for $60, even though it's going to be a $40 game. So it could be.
Yeah. I guess it's not 100% a $40 game, but I'd be shocked if it's not.
If it's going to be at retail, it'll be $40.
Yeah, and there is another game that I don't think we've talked about, but we probably should, that is listed on Amazon for, I believe, $60, and that game is going to be $20 when it comes out.
Super excited. Oh my gosh.
You talking about Rocket League?
Rocket League.
Holiday 2017. Baby. It's got Mario shit.
And it's got cross-buy multiplayer with the Xbox One and PC versions, not PlayStation 4, because Sony are apparently...
Did anybody see the quote from Jim Ryan from Sony?
No. Oh, yeah, I did.
Holy shit.
Protect our fan base or whatever the hell it is.
This is the same guy who 2 weeks ago was just like, who the hell plays old games?
Yeah.
like Mr. Ryan, I humbly request, maybe don't give interviews. So in that interview where someone asked him about the cross-play for Rocket League and Minecraft, he was just like, we want to protect our player base. And in the interview, I think it was with
Xbox Live users.
and he, in the interview response, he's like, I could see you rolling your eyes. just incredible, because it's an acknowledgement of I know how ridiculous this sounds, I just have to say it, but Sony's comments like that and their unwillingness to play ball is just we're in first place, we don't give a shit about you, we're gonna play in our own courtyard, fuck off. And I don't like that. I don't like that one bit.
It's a great get. Rocket League is a great get for Nintendo.
Yeah, and especially you put some Nintendo shit in that, people will eat it up. Like me, I'm still on board. That game's amazing.
Me too.
And probably the best option for local multiplayer for that game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Although apparently tabletop mode will be single player only.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would make sense.
That's unfortunate, but
Pokken has taught me that there are some games you just need 2 views for, and Rocket League is definitely one of them.
Yeah. But I mean, you could do local multiplayer on a TV with that. I played local multiplayer on the TV with Rocket League before, and it's a blast. That game in general is just pure delight.
I'm so excited to play it.
Fire Emblem Warriors, fall 2017. Not holiday 2017, fall 2017.
I believe it is coming out in September in Japan. I think it has a release date.
Okay.
It might be the 15th?
29th. I think it's the
29th?
29th.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
late September, Japan.
Yeah.
Presumably, if there's a distinction, fall means September, October. Holiday means basically late October to November to early December.
I think if I had to be a betting man, I think that Fire Emblem Warriors is coming out on October 13th. Because it seems like Fire Emblem game, like most Nintendo games, are kind of day and date. I mean, like Fire Emblem Echoes, for example, came out like a month earlier in Japan than other regions, and I don't think I think they will stick to that fall proclamation, especially if the game's coming out in Japan in September. But I don't think it'll come out day and date with the Japanese version.
2 weeks. 2 weeks sounds about right. I think Hyrule Warriors had about a month as well, but they want to get this out. If they put this out before Mario Odyssey or after Mario Odyssey, it's toast. So yeah. Probably best to put it out in early October. The only thing that would concern me about that is the fact that there's a new 3DS version of that as well, and it's supposed to come out the same day.
Well, on the chat, Levanid says, I'm looking forward to Fire Emblem Warriors. I think Fire Emblem Warriors is interesting and is surprising to me the way that game is structured, even though it shouldn't be. It's got a big story focus like you would expect. And pretty unabashedly, it seems like 80 to 100% of the character focus in that game is the Ike era and the after. So like the GameCube game, the Wii game, and the 3DS games.
Not even the Ike era. It's Shadow Dragon and the 3DS games.
And that's basically it.
Yeah. I mean, there is definitely room to downloadable content the fuck out of this game, pardon my French.
Yeah.
That, you bring in your Path of Radiance characters, your Mystery of the Emblem characters, like they're doing in Heroes this week. But yeah, they could downloadable content this thing for years. But the weird thing is that every hero that they show during Trios Live today is a sword, and they said the reason they were focusing on those 3 games is because they didn't want to overload on swords. So pretty much, I'm trying to think, who are the other prominent Awakening and Fates, etc. characters that would use axes, lances, magic, those kind of attacks? Because otherwise, you're going to look like idiots.
So Cherry Goblin asks in the chat a very pertinent question. What about Sharp FE Warriors?
That could I can see the Sharp FE characters coming as DLC.
I can count the sales that game would get on one hand.
What, 4 people here?
Yeah.
Not me.
Make it 5. I'd buy 2 copies.
Yeah, the Fire Emblem 3DS art style is very pleasant to look at. It looks like a nice game, like Hyrule Warriors was. It seems all right.
I got that game on a pre-order glitch for like $50. I look forward to abusing the hell out of it.
Oh, so only American full price?
No, it was like, I think it works out to like $35 US.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that's reasonable. That's how much my ARMS, Splatoon, and Mario are going to end up being. So
That's how much my arms is going to cost as well.
Nice. Very nice. Zelda DLC, June 30th for Pack 1, holiday for Pack 2. Pack 1 seems way better than I thought it was going to.
I mean, they pretty much just showed us what we knew is going to happen.
Yeah.
But I think there's something different between seeing it in a press release and seeing actually in motion, like, okay, this mode's going to be really fun, or holy crap, that Lionel just whooped Link's ass.
Yeah. I am excited for the, what is it, are they calling it like the Trial of the Sword? Is that the...
Yeah.
That looks great. I'm very excited for that.
Yeah.
And then among the 13 amiibo that got announced today, so if you thought amiibo were dead, I got some bad news for you. The champions getting
Those
amiibo.
look good, except poor Urbosa.
Yeah, I don't know what's up between her legs, but it doesn't look comfortable.
Unfortunate. She's having a really good day, Neil.
That's the Gerudo, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they're playing. Oh, they're doing Urbosa like I play my Link.
Full of surprises.
Oh,
Yeah, that covers most of the games from the presentation, except for Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle was shown off very briefly.
and it was on the
August
live
29th.
stream.
Yeah, it was on the live stream. I'm sure you guys...
There was a little bit in the spotlight on Mario and Rabbids Kingdom
Yeah.
Battle.
Yeah, there was.
Eves talked. Him and Miyamoto continued their bromance.
You guys talked about it somewhat last night on your show, which is going to be in the audio version. If the third-party chat that Neal and the gang did, that's going to be after this episode in the audio version of the show. So look forward to a big, like, 2.5, 3 hour show. But what I just need to say is that this game looks like it has a lot of heart.
Yeah, it does.
Dude, I said it yesterday. I'm really excited for this game. It looks
I'm not going to
great.
play it because I don't like XCOM games, but it looks really cool.
It has half cover. I think that's amazing.
It's just like watching.
I like the Donkey Kong Rabbit.
Yeah,
That was
just
great.
watching the Treehouse Live segment. Like, I really want to mess around with that combat. It just looks fun.
I think the game looks really funny too.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
in a real way. Like it has that Minions-esque childlike humor, but it also has some really smart writing behind it, clearly. And yeah, you got Peach taking a selfie, and you got that like slightly patronizing anti-millennial things from 2010. I hate everything from 2010. I'm from the 1950s, so you do have some of that reaction. But like, there's character. It has character. It has heart, and it's Nintendo not being safe. It's giving their studios to a European third-party production, and it looks like a European video game. It's a strategy game that's made by Ubisoft and has this really weird, colorful-looking Mario. It looks like fun. That's all I have to say about Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, August 29th. Looking forward to it. The last games I have to talk about are not even really part of Nintendo's presentation, but it's the Atlas games that got revealed since the last episode of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Contrary to our E3 predictions episode, Etrian Odyssey 5 is getting localized. It's coming out in fall. Radiant Historia Perfect Chronology is coming in early 2018. And the game I'm most excited about, Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey Redux, is coming in early 2018. Ha! That's all I have to say to you, Neal. Ha!
I mean, I had heard some shit that did not seem promising at all. I'm my only response is like, thank Christ. Like, I want to play all three of those games really, really badly. Honestly, thinking in my head, and this is going to be blasphemous, I think that if I were to talk about the games that I'm most looking forward to at the end of throughout the rest of 2017 that aren't Super Mega Baseball 2, it would probably be tied between Etrian Odyssey 5 and Super Mario Odyssey. Give me all the games with Odyssey in the title. I demand them for sustenance. But like, I'm stupidly excited for Etrian Odyssey 5.
Yeah, me too.
I'm very happy I don't need to import it.
I still need to figure out if my one stopping block for Etrian games is present in this game before I jump in.
Oh,
but
that's right.
What is that?
The dancer class.
Oh, okay.
Especially the female dancers, which are wearing basically 2 dots and a dash. That looks very uncomfortable in the Etrian Odyssey art style.
I mean, I don't know. Considering knowing some of the other games from Atlas that you have played, I wonder why that is your line of the sand.
It's just that those, like, I played the demo for Untold, and it's like they're the shopkeeper. It's like, man, if I play this in public, I'm gonna get arrested.
I mean, can't you say that about like half of JRPGs? Like, I like the damn games, and like, come on. Like, they have a
Listen,
privacy
I
screen
play
for
the
Senran
Senran games
on
in
Switch.
public. I've never been arrested.
That's why you got the privacy screen for your Switch. For the Senran.
Yeah, Zach, you know they aged the characters up in the 3DS version.
But the people who are looking at me playing the game don't know that.
Yeah, we're talking about, you know, the problem is they have significant work on their, shall we say, assets in Senran Kagura That is definitely not present in Etrian Odyssey, but
Well,
I
that's true.
digress. Radiant Historia, yes, thank you very much. I am all over that. Strange Journey Redux, I tried the first one. I don't know. It didn't really grab me, but that was also before I played stuff like Apocalypse and the Persona series, so maybe it'll work this time. And like I said, Etrian Odyssey, I'll try it. If they put a demo out for it, I'll certainly give that a whirl at least.
Did you guys talk about yesterday? Did you talk about Blade Strangers?
Yeah.
We
You can talk
mentioned-
about it now. We talked about how it's the Zach Miller fighting game.
Yep, absolutely is. Thank you.
I have one more video game related thing to talk about before we go into our quick bullet point subtopics. That shouldn't take way too long. But it seems like there's been a slight update in the localization or non-localization of Monster Hunter XX on Nintendo Switch, which seems like officially there's no word right now. That's all I have to say on that. But it seems like there's no confirmation.
I could, in a way, I could see part of it being they have Monster Hunter Stories coming out this fall, and they don't want to take away from that.
Oh yeah.
But I think that if money changed hands to get Monster Hunter World onto PS4, or at least not onto a Nintendo system, then there could be some additional quo to go with the quid here that keeps Monster Hunter Double Cross from being localized.
You guys, are we getting the amiibos for that game?
They haven't announced.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who knows?
I mean, I'll buy those amiibos without the game. Those are sexy
Although
amiibos.
I think weren't there some rumors that Nintendo might be publishing Monster Hunter Stories in the West?
I haven't heard that. That might be a Neal rumor.
No, like that.
They did
was something that I saw on NeoGAF.
Wouldn't be the first time that Nintendo distributed a Capcom game.
Yeah.
Metroids.
I mean, Ubisoft is publishing a Mario game, so
True.
Going through a couple quick chat things. Small Dream asks, how much does Metroid Samus Returns cost? It looks like that's a $40 game.
yeah,
That is
Yeah.
$50 for the special edition with a CD.
with the Atlas case,
Yeah.
as James Jones called it.
Brave Gallade says, well, it's not a main series Monster Hunter title. It depends which one you're talking about.
Oh, look at that. Someone just said in the chat, it's true, Nintendo was publishing Monster Hunter Stories. What about now, Alex?
Well, I guess we're equal because Etrian Odyssey 5 is getting localized. So there you go.
If Nintendo's publishing it, I'll bet they bring over those amiibos.
Hold on, I'm getting lost here. It is, the chat's moving a little bit. It's not.
It's
not
hopping tonight.
Yeah, it's hopping tonight. We got like 15
why. Was there something that happened today?
Small Dream, how much does Samus... Oh, we already talked about that one. Brave Gallade, it's not a main series Monster Hunter title. Double Cross is a spin-off. World is confirmed by Capcom people to be the next main Monster Hunter game. I don't know if that means that it's... I don't know what that means, but they say it's the next main series entry.
That although that is coming from representatives in the West, and as we've learned over the years, Japan is where Monster Hunter is the big thing. So we'll see.
Yeah.
And to date, I don't think it's been announced for Japan.
Yes, it has. Global release, I think.
Okay.
I got to reread the press release.
For Monster Hunter World?
Yeah.
It's not coming out in Japan.
It's not coming out in Japan?
That was the word last night, at least.
Oh,
Weird.
wow. That is interesting. Cherry Goblin, Animal Crossing fans are upset. That's what he has to say about it.
They are very mad. Guess what? You know how Metroid fans have been pretty pissed for like half a decade? It's your turn, Animal Crossing fans. Get ready. You got a year of complaining. Because we probably won't hear anything about a new Animal Crossing game until next year.
But probably not more than a year.
Yeah. Well, you got to think there's the mobile game. The mobile game is a thing that exists, and it would probably make sense if you're going to release an Animal Crossing mobile game to, I don't know, maybe release an Animal Crossing game on your current system.
If I could very easily see another Animal Crossing Direct later this year, where they basically do the Fire Emblem Echoes thing, where they announce the Fire Emblem Direct thing, where they announce like 4 games, including the mobile game.
That worked for Fire Emblem really well.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Fire Emblem Direct was like a good idea that presented the mobile game in a very good light. Presented Echoes, which is an awesome game. They gave us more about Fire Emblem Warriors, teased a Fire Emblem game for the future. So you do that, and you mentioned the Animal Crossing mobile game. Maybe, I don't know, maybe there's some spin-off title also mentioned, and then like, okay, and it's coming to Switch next year. More details at E3.
Word. That's all the
Animal
video games.
Crossing needs a Breath of the Wild-like reinvention.
Yeah. Maybe.
Where you can beat Ganon at the start of the game, right when you get to the town.
Exactly.
You can just
You
go
can
beat
beat Tom
Ganon.
Nook.
You can beat Tom Nook.
Yeah. If you like, yeah, it's like it's an Animal Crossing game where you can go anywhere and do anything. So you could take that shovel and you can go to Tom Nook after hours and find him in the back, and then it turns into a detective. It becomes Hatful Boyfriend. For the back half.
I played that game. It sucks. Hatful Boyfriend is really bad.
You just didn't understand it, Alex. I'm sorry.
It's a legitimate. I think what I'm really frustrated by is how legitimate of a visual novel it is, and that's just not what I wanted.
Did you get to the portion of it where it's a murder mystery?
No. You'll see my Steam library says 6 minutes.
That is a dating sim with pigeons that then turns into a murder mystery at the end.
Okay, speaking of mysteries, where the hell is Detective Pikachu?
I know.
Probably never coming out in America.
Oh.
At least
With
until
Danny
the movie does.
DeVito.
It's probably because they're waiting for Danny DeVito's price to go down.
I'm not gonna say anything about that. The man is 70 years old. Danny DeVito has never been the picture of health. That's all I need to say about that.
Yeah, that's true.
I hope Danny DeVito voices Pikachu. That's what I'm hoping for.
I mean, what will you do with that Detective Pikachu movie coming out sometime?
Yeah.
Apparently, that's a thing.
Okay, that's all the video games, and I know we're an hour and a half in, so I do want to move through some of this stuff quickly. I have 2 topics that are basically the same thing, and then Neal has a couple things too.
Wait, I do?
You said you had a list. I don't know if there was anything else you wanted to go over on your list.
You talk. I'll figure it out.
Okay. Well, my first thing to ponder is that
Neal, is your kiss on your list? My kiss on your list?
it's apparently not. So
it's a song.
there are 2 more days of entertainment electronic exposition.
Waiting for that shadow drop, man.
That's my other topic. Those are both the topics. We have 2 days left. Do you think we're going to see a game on each day? Do you think it's going to be a big game, a little game? Do you think we'll get 2 games again? Or do you think those 2 games were mostly it with maybe a Mother 3 coming?
Jesus Christ.
I expect a shadow drop to happen tomorrow or Thursday. I don't know what it is. Like, the only thing that I can call out by name is a Mother 3. But, like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know anymore about that.
Mother 3
I think there were some murmurs of, like, I think there was like some, like, I don't know, like GameStop ad that mentioned a demo for Ever Oasis. I wouldn't be surprised if they show off Ever Oasis and be like, oh, there's a demo you can check out in the eShop right now. Like, that's not a compelling shadow drop, but like that seems pretty likely. I think we'll probably see them like show off the Animal Crossing mobile game or something tomorrow or Thursday. I think there will be some game, and there will probably be like maybe we will see more about Monster Hunter Stories, and they will mention the amiibo for that game. I think we're going to see some more like, third party or smaller first party games that we might not have been sure, like, oh, like when are they coming out? Like, I think we're going to see stuff that we haven't talked about at E3 yet on Treehouse Live over the next 2 days.
Nintendo did an eShop sale this week with franchises that are at E3, but among the stuff they have in there is the first 2 Box Boy games. So I wonder if the Box Boy amiibo and that retail package might be coming.
Yeah, they also have Senran Kagura 2 in that sale.
To be fair, there is a Senran Kagura game at E3. It's just not coming to Switch.
Someone mentioned I think we'll see that Kirby Fighter game dated for holiday 2017. I think that's a pretty good bet. I also think that it would not be an exciting shadow drop considering that they just did it for the other Robobo spin-off eShop game. But that Kirby's Blowout Blast? that was shown off at the April Direct.
Oh, yeah.
That could be a game that maybe they show that Kirby game and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, this is out right now. That wouldn't be a fun shadow drop. That would just be a shadow drop for shadow dropping's sake.
The only fun localization I can think of, because I can think of Inazuma 11 or Great Ace Attorney, but those aren't Nintendo games. So
and Ace Attorney ain't happening.
Yeah, the Great Ace Attorney cannot happen.
The only thing I can think of that's a fun localization that hasn't happened yet is Jam with the Band, which seems like a real long shot.
Didn't they just shut that down in Japan? Or aren't they doing that soon?
When was the last one of those that came out?
There was P. That came out in like
2013. Yeah, that'd be. I mean, I could there's a 1% chance of it happening, but I would be shocked if that actually did happen.
Did Battle Makuru come out yet?
Not yet. I'm expecting. I think we'll see that tomorrow, but I think that gets dated for July once they've done some of the content updates.
That could be a shadow drop game though.
And there's nothing else on 3DS. There's that weird football manager game,
Pocket Football Club.
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to come up in a Treehouse Live segment.
No.
Curtis asks, why can't Great Ace Attorney happen? Because it's a Capcom game.
Because Sherlock Holmes.
Literally, the Sherlock Holmes, the rights to that are a mess, and he is heavily tied into the plot of the Great Ace Attorney.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other possibility, since Nintendo is the one publishing a lot of Dragon Quest Theatrhythm never came out in the States. But that's not happening. That's just an idea I had.
Yeah. Or
such a crime.
The Dragon Quest
to be fair,
3.
Theatrhythm Dragon Quest is not really that great because you realize that a lot of those Dragon Quest games soundtrack are basically just the same. And compared to Curtain Call, because I imported Theatrhythm Dragon Quest, and this is a pretty easy to import game. I mean, you need to have a Japanese 3DS to do it, but if you do, you don't really need to know Japanese to be able to play that game well. It's a rhythm game. It's okay, but I don't really think we're missing out by not having access to it. And I say that as someone that has an affection for the Dragon Quest series.
If we get anything Dragon Quest localized out of nowhere, I want it to be that slime boating game. The sequel to Rocket Slime.
Oh, that would be cool.
Actually, you know what the shadow drop could be? 3 words. Great Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, no, that could be.
That's the right scale for it too.
Yeah. And hey, tomorrow, I don't know. I wound up watching. I watched most of that Splatoon 2 tournament too. That was pretty cool. The spectator mode seems really nice in Splatoon 2. And America won, so yay. But tomorrow, I think it starts at 10 a.m. Pacific time is when the show floor opens. Treehouse Live is going to kick off. They're going to show off some Pokken Tournament DX and go right into the Pokken Tournament DX tournament. And then after that,
thought you said something else.
Oh no. They're going to go into their Pokken Tournament DX tournament at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, and then after that wraps up, which if it went as long, God, I hope it doesn't go as long as the Splatoon thing. But that'll probably go until noon or 1 Pacific time, and then after that, they said that their first game that they're going to go into is Yoshi for Switch, and then we'll have probably an hour or 2 of Treehouse Live, and then it'll be the ARMS Invitational, and that'll probably close out tomorrow's Treehouse Live, and then Thursday I think is just all Treehouse Live all the time.
Yeah.
When are we getting that 8-bit fighting game?
Pocket Fighter?
Rumble?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Maybe that's a shadow drop.
It was.
Hey, that'd be nice.
The developer has been a little terse with people that have asked about why it's not out yet, but apparently they've had a few development snags that have forced them to wildly miss the March deadline that they set out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Baruby, King Nintendo fanboy, says realistic shadow drop new character in Pokken. I say that's not going to happen because the press release explicitly said 5 new characters.
I also don't think that's much of a shadow drop.
Yeah.
Because that implies that the game
implies
a game.
The
would
term
work.
Shadow Drop, which I pilfered from Easy Allies, great place. They're also on Patreon. Former NWR staffer Dan Bloodworth is there. He's a good guy. But they use that term as like when, like, for example, at an E3 press conference or a Treehouse Live segment, they're like, here's a thing, and it's out now. That's a Shadow Drop. It's not like
Rhythm Heaven Mega
The
Mix.
Sega Saturn.
Yeah, that was a Shadow. That was the Shadow Drop to end all Shadow Drops, but then the term came back.
Rhythm Heaven was so good as a Shadow Drop. It was the perfect thing for this. Yeah, that's pretty much all we have to say about E3 for now, right? Is Neil, do you have anything else to add?
No.
No, we're all talked out an hour and a half later.
Yep.
How are you people still awake?
Caffeine.
Yeah.
The show started like 1 o'clock in the afternoon here, so I slept in.
Word. Okay, that's our show of Nintendo News Report for Tuesday, June 13th, 2017. Alex Kalafi joined today by Donald Terrio at Donald Mick, Neil Ronahan at Enron10, Zachary Miller at ZMiller1902. I'm at Kulafia. Go to Patreon, patreon.com/NWR. Get some sick Nintendo World Report exclusive content. We also have great content for E3 at NintendoWorldReport.com or NINWR.
We have brave souls standing in lines that last over an hour.
Oh,
you.
E3 is so gross. Yeah.
They had to open the gates, otherwise it might have been a fire hazard.
Oh, jeez.
Yep.
Maybe they'll learn their lesson.
And apparently they didn't tell anybody in the actual show floor that they were doing that.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, boy.
So, yeah. I regret nothing.
I regret even less.
When we saw the reports of how fucking packed it was, Justin Berube and I high-fived. Being like, good call.
I'm going to a conference in August that will have tops 500 people in it.
Oh, that's our show. Go look up Nintendo News Report on iTunes. Nintendo News Report is on iTunes. It's on your podcatcher of choice. It's also on Google Play now. This show is going to include this hour-and-a-half episode. It's going to have some music in the middle, and then it's going to have the hour-plus event from last night, which was, almost 2 hours long?
Sure. It was just over an hour, I believe.
Oh, okay, just over an hour. Same thing. You're going to have a 2.5 hour Nintendo News Report tomorrow, which is going to be very, very, very exciting. Anyways, on behalf of myself, Neil, Donald, Zach, have a beautiful night and a beautiful E3. Be safe. Good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.